So back when I was doing my giving my thoughts on the Superman trailer, I talked about like how we have Engineer working with Lex Luthor, and it made me think: is Lex Luthor going to be the one who creates the Authority in this universe? Because it feels like it could be that. And I made a joke about talking about like how DC, to promote synergy, might create a Luthor's Authority comic. Well, that little idea stuck in my brain, so here we are with a pitch for basically not like more. It's a fan fiction idea, but it's more of a pitch, like a ground floor pitch of a Luthor's Authority story. So yeah. I think the title of this comic would even be called Luthor's Authority, or Lex Luthor and the Authority. But Luthor's Authority would probably be the title of the book. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, this is just kind of a loose idea of what that would be like. So in this, we're in the DC universe. We're in our main DC universe, not movies or anything, just main comic universe. And after a while of Lex getting trounced by Superman, as well as like the whole things with the Legion of Doom not working out, Lex has decided to do a rebranding of LexCorp because he's seeing like the LexCorp brand, as big as it is getting damaged from his villainy, the villain stuff he does blatantly. So Lex basically comes up with an idea for a rebrand of himself, as well as like how to really stick it to Superman. Essentially, Luthor it announces he's going to create his own team that will do what the Justice League can't. Essentially, this new team, which he calls the Authority, which some members of the Authority is like, you didn't make that title, but doesn't matter. It's Lex Luthor's Authority, trademarked. So the Authority will basically be under Lex Luthor and he will lead a team of heroes into borders, areas that the Justice League can't go. He will lead them into places that the Justice League can't go, as well as do things the Justice League can't do out of moral obligations and whatnot. So Lex already puts out like a media blitz and everything else, and paying like, the Justice League's old school, and the Authority by Lex Luthor is the new shit. Like, we're gonna go out there and kick some ass and take some names. That's really what this is about. Is just Lex just making a superhero team on the grounds of, I'm here just to fuck with everyone who's friends with Superman, and that's really it. So Lex does put a team together, and we're going to talk about that. It's counting him. It's an 8-person team. So let's talk about the other 7 members of Lex Luthor's Authority. So one of the members is Jack Hawksmoor, an original member of the Authority who can control cities and talk to them. Luthor brings Jack in and says like, "Hey, if you join my team, Hawksmoor, I'll help you be able to like get over your sickness," because he has to stay in like big cities, or if he leaves a city, it makes him sick, and it even puts him almost like in a cancerous state. So Luthor just is like, "Hey, you join my team, we'll find a way to not only be able to have still control over your powers, but also be able to leave cities and whatnot." So Hawksmoor begrudgingly agrees, even though Hawksmoor would definitely be like, "Dude, you are the epitome of evil itself, and you didn't come up with the idea of the Authority. Hell, even Superman had, that's the other reason Superman would do, this is why Luthor would make the Authority in comics, because Superman brought together a version of the Authority to fight Mongol and the Warworld saga. So, this is another reason to stick to it. So, Hawksmoor would begrudgingly agree if it means, like, Lex's technology can help him. And I do have it written down, so keep that, because I would forget. Next up, the Engineer. Again, we're going with that whole synergy of the DC, synergy with DC movies, and the Engineer and Hawksmoor do have a thing on and off. So that would be another thing where the Engineer joins with Luthor's group, and Hawksmoor's like, it's better that we work with this guy rather than just allow him to be absolutely horrendous without us. Next up, another classic member of the Authority is Swift. In here, Swift is another member who, these 3 members of the Authority are basically of the mindset of we only join to keep Luthor from doing something worse. So at the same time, Luthor is aware of that, but he needs that brand. Next up is a member of a Wildstorm team, but originally a Wildstorm universe team, but not a member of the Authority, and that's Zealot. Yeah, I know they keep trying to make Wildcats a thing. Like, every so often, DC Comics will try to make Wildcats a thing, and I really dig Wildcats. I really love the Wildcats, but they keep trying and it keeps failing. So in here, it's also cool to see Zealot be part of the Birds of Prey. It was really cool to see that. But here, Luthor brings in Zealot because he knows, like, he needs someone to be like his Wonder Woman. He needs that kind of synergy brand, and someone, in case the Justice League does try to get in his way, he needs someone who can counter Wonder Woman or any of the members of the Bat family. So Zealot is the next one. The next three characters, however, are primarily DC characters. So starting off, we have Manchester Black. Manchester Black was a Superman villain, got changed by Superman, and in here, Luthor brings him in, and Manchester Black is like, yeah, I kind of like Superman's cool and all. Don't get me wrong, and I like him, but like being on Warworld and seeing everything else that happened kind of shows that there are threats out there that are just too big for Joe Schmo to handle. So. If I know Lex ain't on the up and up, but maybe this is how we get shit done for real. Dealing with every corporate billionaire and warlord and weapons dealer, we do it the old-fashioned way. And yes, the irony ain't lost on me that I'm working with a billionaire to fight billionaires. God knows that, but hey, sometimes to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. So Manchester Black's part of this team. Next up is Captain Atom. Captain Atom leaves the Justice League and joins the Authority on the grounds of he kind of sees where Lex is going. Even though, yes, again, it falls under, make no mistake, none of these characters are dumb enough to believe Luthor's lies. But Atom believes that, maybe, if I'm here, maybe I can help make a difference. Plus, it's also a whole thing of, we aren't doing it, the Justice League isn't doing enough to combat these sort of threats. So if you guys won't be able to deal with a government threat in here, I'll be working with the government. I'll be working with the U.S. government again, and I'll be able to keep an eye on Luthor. That'll work. So Captain Atom joins, and the last member of this team is Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern. Although last I remember, I heard she became a Sinestro Corps member. But yeah. I don't know if she's still a Sinestro Corps member or a Green Lantern now, back to a Green Lantern, but let's say for sake of argument, it's Green Lantern. Jessica Cruz joining this version of the Authority is that she has been in space, she's seen a lot of horrible shit, and seen what government inactivity has done. Her whole experience with Volthoom and everything else that has occurred has basically been one moment where she's like, yeah, similar to Captain Atom, the reason why she joins Lex's team is on the grounds of the Justice League just ain't doing enough, and neither is the Green Lantern Corps. I can't believe I'm about to sound like Guy Gardner, but if Lex can provide a response team that will help actually do some good, even if it's for his own benefit and his own ego, then I'm gonna do my best to help with that. So that's why Jessica Cruz is on this team as well. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much Lex's team. I also had, if I could write an issue of this, the first issue would be, Lex comes down in his power armor in Bagalia or some other, country, like Markovia, and one of the generals goes, on whose authority are you here? And then Lex just says, mine. And all of the rest of the members of the Authority show up. Yeah, so something like that. But there you go, guys. That's basically, like I said, it's just kind of a rough idea for a pitch for the story. I know I'll never be able to write this because, but hey, if anyone at DC Comics is looking to hire, I'm actually going to say this right now. If anyone out there in DC Comics wants to hire me, I'll write this comic. I'll write it for cheap. Just let me write this comic. I will totally do it. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this? Did you guys like it, hate it? yeah, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.